Pilots are important. The first episode of a show could determine if it could be revered as a classic, setting up a generation-defining show, or a show that is dead on arrival, forgotten as soon as the next slot begins. It needs to do so much and always in so little time. So why does Breaking Bad, one of the highest rated shows of all time, start with the end of the episode, showing us the climax before anything else? The show opens with vistas of the New Mexico desert. It's still, eerie, uncanny. The first sign of humans. A caravan runs over the pants. Then the drums kick in, immediately building anxiety and tension. Without any other context, we know that the people in this vehicle are trying to escape. Let's have a look inside. So, there's a naked old guy driving, a nice young man in the passenger, and two guys in the back, all having a nice nap. There's some sort of foamy liquid sloshing around and beakers falling off of a shelf and breaking. Old guy looks a little stressed and in a hurry. Then they crash. Old guy should get his eyes checked. Let's talk about the camera in this whole sequence. Inside of the RV, and with old guy, the camera is handheld and shaky, seeing whatever old guy sees, and it's just as stressed out as him. The other shots, wherever he can't see, are exclusively made up of wide still or panning shots. These shots are much more stable and seem to watch the action unfold from afar. This change in camera movement and shot types establishes the environment as a character in this scene, and juxtaposes and enhances the panic shots even more. The man is fighting against the unwavering and unforgiving forces of nature, trying to escape, but engulfed by the expansive desert. This builds tension through the belief that there is a larger unknown force stalking the vehicle, and the man either isn't aware of its presence or is and is trying to run. Old guy runs out, cursing, the unknown liquid spilling out with him. He thinks about what to do next and tries to collect himself. He grabs his shirt, looks for his pants, and grabs a camera and gun from the glove box and a dead guy. You can see him trembling as he opens the camcorder. Then he gives us the best introduction in television history.
My name is Walter Hartwell White. I live at 308 Negra Arroyo Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87104. To all law enforcement entities, this is not an admission of guilt. I am speaking to my family now.
When cutting to the camcorder's perspective, the shaky camera work gives a one-to-one representation of Walter's emotions at the moment. Shook, but still in control, albeit just barely. It also creates a close-up shot, predominantly showing his face, and not much else, placing a focus on his emotions in a cramped and uncomfortable way. Covering the lens says a lot as well. It shows a shift in character, from a scared, naked 50-something criminal driving a caravan in the desert, to a father who cares deeply for his family and can't bear the fact that they'll soon find the truth about him. Then, almost as if saying his final words, Walter locks in. The camera becomes more stable, along with his composure. He has accepted his fate and walks out onto the desert road, in a wide shot capturing his confident posture. He raises his gun at the sirens. We stare down the barrel, waiting for the shot. And right when the anxiety builds to its greatest point, what the f just happened is probably the best question to ask for these first 4 minutes, and that's fair enough. This whole intro is designed to hook viewers in with an intense start and keep them on the show, yearning for resolution and the next high this drama will bring. This tension is done mainly through the tension of task and the tension of mystery. First is the tension of task. This is basically the tension of motivation and goals and what people are willing to do to reach them. This would usually have conflict to build a narrative and even more suspense. Walter's task is revealed throughout the rest of the episode, where the intro finally rejoins with the timeline. But right now, we know that he is running, probably from the police, in the harsh desert with 3 unconscious men in his car. We can see that there is a drive, and this drive keeps us invested in his story, and builds anxiety when it seems like he is going to fail. The show gives a lot of questions, but isn't giving any real answers. The seemingly random choices in setting, situation, and style, the desert making getaway wearing nothing but jocks and a gas mask, builds a fragmented and chaotic explanation in the minds of the viewer. Jumping straight into the action builds tension effectively through the motivation of the characters, but our incapability of knowing what stakes are on the line compounds on top of that with mystery. The tension of mystery is, in short, suspense through the act of withholding information. The two ways to build mystery is to either show your whole hand to the audience but not the characters, or vice versa. Breaking Bad takes this idea of concealing information and does this masterfully, not only in this intro, but throughout the whole episode, hell, the whole show, never telling us any more than the bare minimum to get us speculating. Mystery builds suspense effectively because humans naturally have a fear of the unknown. Being left in the dark makes humans feel anxious, alert, focused. And that is exactly what Breaking Bad wants, your attention. It wants you to ask questions and guides you to them, not only through storytelling techniques, but through camera work, mise-en-scène, sound, and other things that the medium of film can excel in. In this intro alone, there are so many things you can ask about.
Why is Walter naked?
What are the two dead guys in the back?
Why do they have guns?
Is that the police? So, why did Breaking Bad start like that? It's to build tension through task and mystery. Through a combination of the strong drive that Walter has, leaving us attached to his story and his goals, to the clever omission of context, throwing us headfirst into the climax of the episode. This sequence is able to successfully and powerfully build tension and suspense, grabbing the eyes of a viewer and leaving them hooked for the rest of the series. And that's pretty important for a pilot.